Okay, so on this one, they're giving us a function. Let me bring it on down here. This function f of x right up here, 3 root x minus 3 over x to the 9. Now, they want us to use the power rule. What's the power rule? It says if you have a function that has, whoops, that is x to the n power, and you want to take the derivative, you just bring the n down, it's called the power rule, and then subtract 1 from the power, just like that. Okay. So, but how do I do it for a root? And can you do it for an x in the denominator? The answer is no, you got to move that up to the numerator, then do it. And same thing with the root. So basically, the first step here, first rewrite, that's kind of scribbly there, rewrite f of x as x's in the top with powers. So I'm going to say, okay, how do you do that? Well, that's x to the half power. Do you remember that? The root of x is x to the half power. So something important to know. That's just something important to know. The root of x is x to the half power. Need to know that. Minus, okay, and now what about this guy? That's x to the minus 9 when I put it out front or top, whatever, right? Because negative powers jump back to the denominator. Goes back to this. I haven't done any derivatives yet. This is still f of x. This is not f prime. I'm about to do f prime. My first step is just rewriting so that the x's are in the top, not the denominator, and they have powers, not roots. Powers, I'll just say not roots. Right? First step is a rewriting. Get it ready to go. Now that it's ready to go, now, second step, that was first. Second, do the derivative power rule. Now that you have powers, that rule right there. So I'll go, okay. So f prime of x, get a little more room here. F prime of x equals, so I'm going to take this half, it's going to multiply the front. So that'll be 3 halves and do what? Subtract 1. So a half take away 1 is minus a half. And then this will multiply. Negative 3 times negative 9 is plus 27. And subtract 1, that'll be minus 10. So I just did the derivative power rule. I just took the powers, multiplied the front, subtracted 1. Power multiply the front, subtract 1. Okay, now this is f prime. Now, I would leave it that way, but look what they said here. Type your answer without fractions or negative exponents. It doesn't like that. So you got to change it back. Well, how do you do that? Well, this is going to be 3 over 2 square root x. Why? Because it's negative, so negative jumps it to the bottom, and the half power makes it a root on the bottom, plus 27, x to the negative jumps it down. So there we go. There's our answer. So a couple of rules you need to know. Negative powers jump to the other side of the fraction and then they become positive. We did that twice. Originally, we had the ninth power. We jumped it to the top and that's negative 9. Same thing, right? Negative 9 in the top jumps to the bottom, positive 9. So a negative power is unhappy. It's like somebody that's negative at their job. They're unhappy at their job. They want to jump to a new job, then they'll be happy. So a negative 10 power wants to jump to the bottom, and then he becomes positive, happy. So same thing here. Negative half power jumps to the bottom, and then also the half power is the root. So those are the two things you need to know. It's a negative half power, so it's a root on the bottom. And so there's our answer. That's exactly how they have it there. So there we go. So there's two steps. One more time, two steps. The original one I had to rewrite as a half power, the root. We don't want roots. And that's a negative 9 because it's 9 on the bottom. We want it up on the top. This rule here about bring down the power, that's only when x is not when x is in the denominator. You can't have that. You can't have x in the denominator. You gotta get it up top. So it's the same thing as negative 9 in the top is positive 9 in the bottom, right? And then you just once you get it written this way, then just do the rule. Multiply the front, subtract 1 from the power. You got it, then change it back. root on the bottom, 10 power on the bottom. There we go.